Welcome back to the trading show here at Sin City Crypto. My name is David. I'm so excited to be with you guys today. We got a Bitcoin short currently in. Bitcoin's seeing a little bit of a retracement. We got all the way down, as you can see here. We wicked down to 105.2. I think it was earlier this morning. And my reasoning for the short, let me get rid of market cipher. And let me get rid of our VWAP, or the VRVP. Is this right here, my friends. This head and shoulders pattern that broke to the downside. We might get a retest here at 108.658, which I need to adjust my stop loss. I'll do it right above there. Let's go in here and let's adjust. Let's go here. What was that number? We'll do it right above. We'll go 108.793. For our stop loss, 108.793. Confirm. Yes. I'm looking to take profit here at around, I'll probably clip 25% at around 105. And then I'll take the rest out before we hit 100, like right at 100. And so this is just simple matter of the fact, bearish pattern on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Market Cipher B. Market Cipher did give us a short entry on an anchor trigger wave, you guys. So if you have Market Cipher and you follow that strategy, would have gotten into this into the short sooner than I did, which would have been on this candle here at 109.980, right? You rode that thing up to around 111 and then back down. So you are currently in the profit if you did take that trade. Crypto markets are bleeding. The only two, well, there's 3 coins up, 2 of which are privacy coins. XPL Plasma, I don't know much about this one, but that is up on the day, 8.8% as well. Dash, absolutely crushing it. Let's take a look at a Dash chart really quick. Also, if there's anything you'd like to take a look at, or you'd like me to take a look at, please throw it in the chat. I'm gonna look at ICP. Obviously, we're talking about Bitcoin, and maybe look at, I don't know, like Chainlink or Solana. Let's check in on Dash real quick. Someone was asking in the chat, they said, is it too late to buy Dash? Let's take a peek. This thing has been on a monster run. Everything you want to see, and then Haikanashi will tell you the same thing. Confirmed uptrend was here at a close of around $82. And this uptrend has continued. It's currently trading at, why did it say 100 bucks? It says Dash 113. Let's check here. So the chart was Coinbase. Let's check, see where Dash is. 113, so, oh, this is hiking on this way. Okay, there we go. 113.7 for Dash. If you look at Market Cipher, I mean, we haven't been this high on our momentum oscillator since December of last year. Okay, December of last year, and that's when Dash topped. Okay, I'm not saying this means Dash is topped. If you look, you had that big spike in volume, and we can analyze this a little bit, right? Massive spike in volume. Money flow expanded, and then we kind of stayed in the money flow, money flow in the green, while price kind of trickled down. And we're kind of seeing the same thing here. And so to the person in the morning show that was asking, is it too late to get in a Dash? I personally would highly recommend you wait, right? This is a train moving at over 100 miles an hour. It will come to a stop. 1 hour showing a little bit of a pullback here. You see our momentum waves have clipped after getting to those overbought levels. And we'll see, will this be on the hourly at least, right? Lower highs on the momentum to the upside, potentially, yes. But what we are seeing, which is good, is we're seeing V-shaped recoveries on these momentum waves to the downside, right? That tells you the buyers are stepping in with force, pushing the price back up. This is on the 1 hour time frame. We can take a peek at price action on the 1 hour. Let's go ahead and draw our fibs here. You guys know my first target level is always a 50% fib level, $99.66. I would be a I don't know if I'd be a buyer there, but I definitely would be an intrigued observer. And yeah, I just made that up, but whatever. I would be intriguingly observing Dash at $100 even. We'll call it $100. The 50% fib level. Interesting enough though, I would definitely be a buyer at the gold pocket. Why? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Gold pocket between 94.50 and 95.50, so that a dollar gap there, where price has met resistance, and then we ultimately blew right through that. And to come back down, I would expect a retest and a flip to support at this level. Also, one thing to note is we probably created a couple gaps on the way up here, which we did. On the 1 hour, we have 2 gaps sitting here. One gap is sitting between gold pocket and 104, pretty big one. Smaller gap, which it looks like at the top end got filled on a wick, which is between 108.6, which is also your 236 level, or your 236 fib level. And the top end of that range is 110.97. So 108 to 111 is your first gap that's going to be filled. The second gap, the much larger one, which is where I'd be looking to either accumulate or swing trade this thing, would be lower end $95, top end 105. I would personally wait till we get to that. I mean, you got your previous week high sitting here as well at that resistance level, $95. So for me, the perfect entry, when I say perfect entry, nothing's perfect, but your ideal entry is going to be between 95 and 96, or 94 and $96. Potential for a great scalp opportunity, but also those of you that are sold on Dash as a long-term investment, that would be a great level to accumulate. Of course, anything can happen. These charts can fade and could get just completely collapse, but doesn't look like that's happening. The strong bids coming in on this chart. Same thing with ICP, man. ICP saw strong bids over the weekend. Caffeine AI has exploded. It's being marketed across many chains. I think Polkadot, Cardano, ETH, Solana. And someone said, well, why don't they say it's ICP? And then someone else replied, well, no one gives a shit what the back end looks like. They just want to use a badass app. If it benefits the back end, great. Like, who cares? Which looks like it has. Big volume spike on ICP. We did get that market cipher A reversal indicator there, flash. Let's throw on our Lux algo here. Price kind of holding steady at our equilibrium zone. Where's our biggest volume spike here? Biggest volume spike is down here at around $3 even. So if you do continue this trend to the downside, expect price to catch support at $3 even, $3.05 to be exact. Let's take a look at market cipher. Massive expansion on the momentum indicators here with the RSI and stochastic on the daily. VWAP is at 20. We haven't been this high on VWAP since since September of last year. ICP was running hot, and I think that's when Bob.fun launched. Let's take a peek. September, yeah, that's when ICP went from around $7 to $10. And it had a little bit of a consolidation. It continued to rally to its current cycle high. Excuse me, that's not the current cycle high. Current cycle high is here at $21. And so, you know, this chart, macro-wise, let me clean this up a little bit. Right, your macro trend, your macro highs here. If you extend this out, $7.90, $8, right? So depending on where, you're looking at between $8 and we'll call it $7, $8. So if you are in an ICP long or in a swing and you bought at the bottom here, and you're looking for where's the next very, very big support, or resistance level on a trend line, you want to target between $7 and $8 for a potential exit if you're looking to swing trade. Now, if you're just a hodler, it's a different story. But will this move be sustained? I don't know if it will. And I can say that about literally 99% of crypto projects that are currently rallying right now. take a look. We did catch some support, not quite, on a wick at the 50 level. You guys know $3.57. If we do make a trip back down there, expect to see a bounce unless it's completely turned for ICP. You also have a broader bull flag pattern here on ICP, which if you take the entirety of this move, that measured move would take us to, guess what? $5.45. So not quite that $7 or $7, $8 region we talked about, but this has been a level that I plotted on this chart. Can't even remember when I threw this this horizontal on here, the orange one, $5.54. But that would be your measured move. That would mean we take out this large liquidity node here, this large volume node, at around, and it disappeared on me. It says around $4.85. So if you do get that breakout, expect a retest to that region as well if you want this this uptrend to stay intact. But the key level, you guys, that we're gonna have to break is gonna be this yellow line. And again, depending on when, you're looking at like $7, $8. If we can break that, that would be our first clear indication of a larger scale trend reversal on ICP. Right? If you look at it on the daily time frame, and then you're talking about taking out cycle highs. Can caffeine do it on its own? Maybe. Caffeine is badass. So if there is one project that I'm going to say, yes, it can kind of carry the weight of a macro trend reversal for a project like ICP, it can definitely be caffeine, especially with the AI narrative being so freaking hot. So speaking of AI narratives, let's take a look at Bitunix. Bitten, sir. I've been bitten, sir. I've been bitten with the TAO bug. Where are you, TAO? There you are. There's my TAO. Come back to me, TAO. So far, so good here. 486. We'll see. The daily candle is still in play here. There's about 4 hours left. Yesterday's candle, we closed right at this level. If we lose this level, okay, you have volume down here at 345. You have your trend line, another retest, which I don't think is going to happen. Like, this would be like my worst case scenario, 327. Guess what? If we get down there, I'm a buyer. I am bidding the Bitunix chart at 327. If we get down there, I don't think we're going to get down there. Red dot on the market cipher B here on the daily time frame. Clean up this chart here a little bit. VWAP just crossed over zero. Crossed below zero, I should say. But unlike ICP, we see higher highs on momentum waves, which is good, right? Sustained price movement to the upside. Let's go down to the 4 hour here. Got this falling channel here on Bitunix, right? You can extend this out and say this is a bull flag. This measured move, if it breaks out from here, takes us all the way up to 636. Guys, I think Bitunix is going much higher than 636. I think it's going to hit 5 figures by the end of the year. I would argue by the end of the month. Sounds crazy in the market conditions, but guys, the halving's coming up in 37 days? 37 days, the halving is upon us for Bitunix. Subnet deregistration has begun. And there's tons of great dApps and products being built around investing in Bitunix subnets. And I've said this on X, and I've said it on the live show. Virtuals ran. I think there might be a little bit of a rotation into Bitunix subnets because of their value relative to the root. When I say root, I mean TAO, right? The main, the L1 of TAO versus its L2s. Some kind of, if you want to make a relative, connection there, it would be like an L1 to an L2. L1 is TAO. Well, the L2, if the L1's running, you assume that a lot of that's going to trickle into the L2. So kind of same idea with the subnets, okay? Maybe it's time to do another Bitunix subnet video for our Patreon members. Shout out to all our Patreon members, by the way. Bitcoin, we're still in the green on our trade here, up 8%, $22. Again, we have our stop loss set at 108,793. That would be invalidation of that let's flip a Bitcoin chart. That would be invalidation of our head and shoulders pattern. A break back above our neckline. Might get a scam wick up here and then continuation, but that's okay. I'd rather take that small L and then see what price is at that point. All right, let's look at Virtual's protocol. I saw last display said Virtuals. Let's talk about Virtuals. Shout out to our man Forrest. He did say chances of this move in its entirety being retraced is high. We're almost there. We just got to be careful putting in a potential head and shoulders here on Virtuals. The key level to take out to avoid that, you guys, is going to be a close above 183.52. We'll call it let's move this down here. 183.52. Mike said he sold all his Virtuals over the weekend. Got back in a better price. Hey, man, that's just that. I've been holding Virtuals for a long time, and I haven't sold any. I've sold some Virtuals ecosystem plays, but right back into Virtuals. I did that over the weekend, actually. Took a little bit of profit. Virtuals is down. The agent was up. So, yeah. But on Virtuals, last display, keep your eye out for a lower high. If we get a lower high, we're probably going lower. I would expect to retest this trend line, right? This long consolidation we've had. Let me move that back. Since May of this year, we finally broke out. We didn't get quite get the retest. We did retest at our 50% fib level. As you can see, like almost a perfect retest. We had some confluence there, as that's where our large volume node was as well on this Virtuals chart on the daily. If we do get a lower high and we come in and we create that right shoulder, as you can see here, I would expect to move down to the gold pocket / your trend line 786 level. So two levels to look out for. The first level would be around $1.05 or $1.08. Second level would be around $1, 95 cents to $1. I would expect a pretty big bounce. A lot of bids coming in from whales for Virtuals at those price levels. So set an alert on those levels, you guys. Also keep your eye out. If we clear 185, Virtual's probably going back up to like $2.50, maybe $3. Right, we've already kind of taken out this high here. We look to take out 250. Yeah, this is an important level here. Let's drop a horizontal there as well. Let's change this to... Let's go purple. 247. If we can clear 185 on any sort of meaningful move and close, we're going to 245. Mark it in your books. Toby Boy said the crypto market is participating in No Nut November. Look, I said it on the morning show. This cycle has been a lot harder to make money in. But if you have been able to follow and you put in the work, you've been making money, man. You have. If you haven't married your bags and you've stayed nimble, everything we've kind of talked about, right? We haven't been perfect. We've missed out on a lot. But we've made a lot too. And so the whole idea is, are you EV positive, right? Are you ROI positive? Which we are. And so Virtual is an example, BitTensor is an example, Dash, Zcash. We didn't catch the move from the very bottom on some of these, but we caught the majority of the move. And so those of you that have been following along, you should be making money because you should be taking profits. So, okay. Let's take a peek. What should we look at? Let's look at Ethereum. 3635. Ugh. We had this beautiful setup for a W that just collapsed. Okay, so that's out of the question. This is ETH on the daily. If this candle closes, you're essentially looking at, let's see if we can find any bullish divergence here on ETH. Nope, no bullish divergence. I was hoping for higher lows on the RSI, but we don't get that. We did not get that. Let's take a look at market cipher B. Well, the good news is we're not too far from bottom here on the momentum indicators. Money flow in the red, VWAP below 0. This was another anchor wave trigger wave short setup on ETH on a daily. Again, if you have market cipher, you should be following these trades, and you should be looking at, you should be following the indicators, and when they start flashing, guys, they're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good, and I use them a lot. Pretty much, I don't want to say all my trades, but a majority of my trades. 4 hour, another head and shoulders here for ETH. Ooh, this is a big one too. Let's draw this out. I think I'm going to short ETH here, guys. I think I'm going to short ETH here. So this is what I'm looking at here is a head and shoulders, much like we saw with Bitcoin. And we're attempting to come back in and invalidate. We did that on a wick on a 4 hour, but we came back down to 36. I think this thing's going to roll over. Let's go ahead and put in a ETH short. Isolated. Let's go 25x. Okay. And let's go ahead and set our stop loss here. Invalidation happens at, let's go here, 36.86. Let's see what that gives us on our TP and stop loss levels. 36.86. Let's see, 36.86, which is a 40%. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, so 36.86 is invalidation. So we have our stop loss set on ETH. Let's go ahead and tell our Discord members that are part of our, I don't want to call it a trading group because I don't really like that, but yeah. ETH short initiated, head and shoulders on the 4 hour with current retest of neckline, expecting a what's the word I'm looking for here, guys? Unsuccessful retest. Okay, cool. So we got an ETH short, we got a Bitcoin short in now, guys. Just so you know, when we're shorting, we're not, doesn't mean we don't. I mean, we think the bull market's over, or we're not bullish on crypto. We're just trying to swing and make money, baby. Hell yeah. Sure Logic, what's up, dude? Shout out to all of you. All right, we'll come back and check on these trades in a little bit. We might get a little more upside here, but I expect this thing to get rejected. Again, we do have our stop loss set, so if we're wrong, that's okay. We'll see if we'll maybe reverse and go long. But I'll be looking to get out before we get into this box, which is around 35.54. Let's go ahead and set that up. 35.54. Cool. Nice little swing trade there. All right. Let's take a look at another top L1. Let's look at ADA. ADA. I heard Charles did a interview today. People said he was mad. Curious to see. I'm gonna go watch it after this. All right, so Cardano, I think last time we were looking at bullish divergence, and it's not completely gone, but it's pretty much gone. Right, this bullish div is pretty much gone on the daily. So there's just no momentum, man. Cardano is stuck. It needs to get unstuck. I have some ideas which I've shared, but I carry no voice in the grander scheme of what Cardano does. I can only share my thoughts here to the people watching. I think Cardano has an identity crisis. It's like trying to sell children shit that children don't care about, or trying to sell adults things that adults don't care about. It's like whatever you decide as a business, who your prospective buyer is, you got to talk their language, right? If your prospective buyer is the business and the institution, speak their language. If it's retail, you got to speak their language. I think there's a disconnect there. Now it goes deeper than that, but I think there's a disconnect there. But I'll tell you what, man, you want to talk about believing in riding the ship or doing things and making the necessary changes. I think you got to give Charles the benefit of the doubt and the team over at Cardano. And so I still hold Cardano. I did decrease my position. I'm not looking to buy more, but I hold it. And it's a small portion of my portfolio. It used to be a lot bigger. I've kind of downsized it. I've been going more heavy into AI. And part of that was trimming some off of my my previous longer term holds. And so that's what I mean by staying nimble. Is the trend clearly, as the time being, is not in Cardano style layer ones. It's in AI, right? Why did ICP pump? AI. Why is BitTensor rallying? AI. You can throw privacy coins in there. That's rallying as well. I think that has a lot to do with shift from Bitcoin, the whales, to privacy. I could be wrong, but I don't know if that's all coincidence. I think there's definitely some to it. Cardano, though, guys, is if we lose 51 cents, we're probably going to sub. Let's take a look. Cardano has held 51 cents for a very long time. Going back to November of last year, where it had that massive breakout, once, twice, three, essentially four. Will this be the fifth time where 51 cents holds for ADA? If it doesn't, let me get my volume back here. You're probably going to 35 cents. Now, it won't be immediate. It might be a slow trickle. Let me drop a horizontal here. You got these gaps down here that haven't filled. Not saying they're going to, but again, if 51 cents is lost, they probably will get filled, and they'll get filled fairly quickly. Our discount zone is not till 31 cents. Here, looking at Lux Algo. No, not the cloud. High volume points. There we go. I mean, guys, all the high volume points are at 51 cents. I mean, you see a trend here. This is a very, very important level. Very, very important level. Look at all this liquidity. 6.6 billion, 4 billion, 3 billion. I mean, if you include this one, which is a little bit, which is at like 58 cents, another 10 billion. So that's like $25 billion of liquidity, right? High liquid points that are sitting there at 51 cents. And if that is lost, you're coming back down to 35 cents. So do with that information as you will. But if it holds, right, every time ADA has come down here, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. It rallied 65%. Here, essentially a double bottom, it rallied 73%. On this wick, which I'm not even going to count this wick, But are we going to see something similar? I think we kind of have to. If we don't, unless something drastically changes or unless some big news comes out, this thing's probably going to just continue trickling down. So yeah, keep your eye out for 51 cents, you guys. I would be very careful trying to front run a bounce off of 51 cents. I would wait to see, right? You're seeing continuous increased volumes on these dips. Next thing you know, 51 cents is lost and you get a massive, massive spike to the downside. So yeah, that's ADA. Chainlink, let's look at Chainlink. I love Chainlink. Chainlink is part of my set it and forget it bag. We had this ascending triangle that went the other way. We've also had descending triangles that have also gone the other way. Let's get rid of you and let's bring you back. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can find bullish divergence on Chainlink. See, now the difference here with ADA and Chainlink is actually giving us some bullish divergence here, right? We look at these highs or this low here, right? This one not so much. It was kind of right dead center. But you're looking at potential bullish divergence on the daily for Chainlink. Now, the candle's not done. So your RSI can go well below. Right? It could just keep diving and go into oversold territory. So I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but for the time being, we are seeing bullish divergence on Chainlink. And in layman's term, what that means is people are still bidding on big dips. I mean, we're approaching zero on our momentum indicators, guys. What happens when it approaches zero? Let's take a look at this box here. Right, this box is when Link approached zero, and shortly thereafter, the bottom was in. And Chainlink rallied from around 10 bucks. Its initial rally was 71%. Came back down, right? Put in a higher low and went from $11 up to $28. And we are almost there, right? What we're looking at is here. Your RSI and your stochastic oscillator. Once you hit zero, there's really not much lower you can go on momentum, at least. My take profit on ETH was, oh, we're printing, we're in the green. Let's see, where's my TP on ETH? I think it was like 35.40 or something like that. A small scalp. So yeah, look at that. I mean, it's getting rejected. 4-hour candle just opened and we are red. Increase the margin a little bit there, and then I'm actually gonna do while I'm here, I'm going to move my stop loss up. Move our stop loss up to 36.40. Because we have that confirmed. I move my stop loss up because we have that confirmed rejection, essentially. Well, technically, I guess it's not completely confirmed, but the fact that price attempted to get above this neckline and failed, and it closed below, to me, that's a confirmation. But the real confirmation would be the close of this candle we're currently on right now. But I feel fairly confident. So ETH short, Bitcoin short is what we're in right now. And they're both in the green. Bitcoin short's up 17%. ETH short's up 7.8%. So, Diamond Hand Zero said ADA sucks. I don't know if I'd say ADA sucks, but definitely underperformed. Let's look at Avalanche. There's another one that is completely underperformed. Do we have any bullish divergence? Ooh. Kind of do. Just a smidge. A little bit of bullish divergence here on AVAX. We'll see if this RSI holds. And then finally, we'll take a look at Market Cipher. Deep money flow expansion to the downsides. You can see here, it just completely U-turned and it's just spilling off. Doesn't look like, I don't see any signs of rounding, right? The bottom rounding or kind of a V-shaped recovery. And the fact that we're continuing to put in lower lows on our money flow is a sign of caution. And plus, just that the overall trend in crypto is down, right? You don't want to fight, two things. You don't fight the Fed, and you don't fight the trend is your friend, right? That's the saying. But for AVAX, this is AVAX on the daily, guys. Couple of very important levels I have marked out here is $11.13. But I mean, it's just not good that it just lost this level, this large volume level. You can see we had bounces here, and then AVAX had rallied 60%. So if I'm objectively talking to you guys and I'm objectively looking at the chart, like the trend is clearly down. No matter how bullish I am on crypto, the future, and my bags, the trend is down. So we ride the trend. We make money on our shorts. We take those profits and you either add to your spot bags or you take profits and you go enjoy your life. But yeah. Ooh. Bitcoin 106.6. Let's take a peek back at Bitcoin on the lower time frame, though, super low time frame. Let's go 5 minute. 5 minute Bitcoin. Here's another anchor trigger wave short entry. 1, 2. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. If you're a serious trader, you got to have Market Cipher. Honestly, like, make the investment, man. Make the investment, get Market Cipher. If you're a serious trader, you want to make money, there's no better indicator out there than Market Cipher. So, I mean, look how perfect this was, right? 5 minute. Blue triangle, trend, reversal trend, or a reversal of the previous trend, which obviously was up. And since then it's down, putting in a lower low so far. One thing to note though, what falls must rise. So we're kind of in, at least on the 5 minute, looks like a little bit, if you want to call this a bull flag. Upside break takes us to 109,270. We're reaching near the bottom end of the zone. There's one touch point. There's 2 touch points, right? A little bit of deviation. 106.4 is as low as we can go. Now this could completely be invalidated. 106.128 is another level to keep your eye out on. But my bet is we go down to the hundreds, man. We go down to the low hundreds, maybe even break below 100K for Bitcoin in the short term. Which at that point, at 100K or a little lower, I'm a spot buyer. I'm adding, so that's a big F. F-U markets. All right, that'll do it for the show today. I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. If you're not subbed to the channel, make sure to do so. We do our trading show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at what time? 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also do our morning show where we cover more news, more of like a fun, I don't want to call it a talk show, but more of like a, we have a lot of fun. Come check us out and sub to the channel. We love you guys. Till tomorrow. Peace.